staff from the Zambia Law Development Commission, allow me to say good morning.
Good morning.
And also to commend you, honorable members. You all look very smart. On behalf of the Commission, it is my great pleasure and honor to welcome all of you to the second edition of the Zambia Parliamentary Model United Nations Conference for Higher Learning Institutions, proudly hosted here at the Livingstone College of Education in the historic city of Livingstone. For those of us that may not be aware, I also learned this morning from the principal. We are sitting on a campus that was established in 1959. And for those of you that will have time to go around Livingstone, you will actually notice that Livingstone has a lot of old buildings, a lot of old beautiful architecture, which Minister, I hope we can preserve. Today marks another important milestone in a journey that seeks to strengthen youth participation in democratic governance and public policy discourse. The successful inaugural Zambia Conference for Higher Learning Institutions was held in 2025 at the University of Lusaka. The first edition laid a strong foundation for this initiative and demonstrated the value of providing platforms where young people can engage meaningfully with issues of governance, law, and public policy. Honorable Minister, distinguished delegates, the Zambia is not simply a conference. For us at the Commission, it is an experiential learning platform that bridges the gap between academic theory and practical governance. Through this platform, it is our hope that participants who serve as lawmakers, drafting motions, debating policy issues, negotiating positions, and building consensus will be able to apply this in their everyday lives and in the future of governance in this country. In doing so, our delegates move beyond classroom discussions and gain direct exposure to the processes that shape democratic decision-making. Honorable Minister, allow me to briefly outline how the Zambia is conducted. At the commencement of the conference, delegates are assigned parliamentary roles. As you heard from their introductions, each of them is representing a constituency. The roles include those of members of parliament, committee chairpersons and clerks, and they are also grouped into thematic committees aligned with specific national policy areas. Each committee is provided with a defined agenda item and background materials to guide the deliberations. During the committee sessions, delegates engage in structured debate governed by parliamentary rules of procedure. They present position statements, they move motions, they propose amendments, they raise points of order, and negotiate clauses within drafted resolutions. Through moderated and unmoderated caucuses, they refine their proposals and work collaboratively to produce committee resolutions reflecting majority consensus. These resolutions are then formally tabled before the General Assembly that we just witnessed, where the sponsors present them for consideration. The Assembly debates the resolutions, proposes amendments where necessary, and ultimately votes for adoption or rejection through structured voting procedures that mirror the workings of Parliament. Prior to the two-day session that we had, Minister, our delegates also undergo training to help them with parliamentary conduct, to help them draft the resolutions, and they are also expected to research the specific topics. And as you saw from some of the statistics that they were presenting, they're expected to relate the issues to real-life situations within the constituencies that they are representing. This two-tier process, committee deliberation followed by the plenary consideration we witnessed this morning, ensures that participants experience the complete legislative process, from issue analysis and policy drafting to negotiation, consensus building, and final decision making. We would have been very happy if you had more time, Minister, for you to have also witnessed the committee sessions. As you are aware, that is where most of the work, as you indicated this morning, takes place in Parliament. It was interesting to see the caucuses that the delegates made to try and get their resolutions passed, and the negotiations and the discussions. The chairpersons normally moderate the discussions, Minister. This is a purely student-led process. So they chair and conduct the activities themselves. Our role as a commission is merely to provide them with this platform. If I put it simply, our role is to provide them with water, serve them with tea, and other requirements. And interestingly, I think in witnessing one of the committee sessions, there's a chair. It's a good thing my memory is a bit fuzzy, and my sight as well. I think there's one chair who would not resist just being chair. I think he participated passionately in some of the debates of his session. It was interesting to see. As a commission minister, our core mandate is law reform. We do take cognizance of the fact that effective law reform is not confined to technical drafting or institutional review. It requires public participation. It requires informed citizens and a generation that understands how laws are made, how they evolve, and how they can be improved. The Zampoon for us is therefore one of the ways in which we extend our mandate beyond research into public legal education. And for us, Minister, distinguished delegates, 2026 holds special significance for us as a Commission. We commemorate 30 years of existence in Zambia. And over the past 3 decades, the Commission has undertaken numerous law reform projects to modernize legislation, to strengthen our governance systems, to promote constitutionalism, and to enhance public participation in lawmaking. Our continued evolution into platforms such as the Zampoon demonstrates our commitment not only to reforming laws, but also to cultivating informed citizens who understand and value democratic processes. Honorable Minister, distinguished participants, building on the success of the inaugural edition, the Commission has resolved to institutionalize the Zampoon as an annual flagship program. So this is something we'll be holding every year, and we'll be happy to see you participate in subsequent Zampoon conferences. In furtherance of this commitment, Minister, we continue to host both the secondary school edition and the higher learning institution edition of this conference. This deliberate progression ensures continuity in civic engagement and leadership development among young people across different educational stages. I would also like to place on record, Minister, my sincere appreciation of the dedicated team from the Zambia Law Development Commission. The successful planning and execution of this conference is a result of months of preparation, coordination, and teamwork. The professionalism, Minister, if you'll allow me to say, commitment and passion for youthful empowerment continues to give practical meaning to our institutional mandates. If you allow me a minute to introduce the ZWC team to you, Minister, the team that is responsible for this particular conference. Ms. Lina Jerry, I will ask you to start. Ms. Jerry, Minister, is our manager for law reform and research at the Commission. She heads our core department, which is responsible for our main business as a Commission, which includes our research, our drafting of bills, our appearances before Parliament, and also the implementation of programs such as this one. Ms. Jerry is a lawyer and an advocate of I'd also like to introduce Mr. Yamika Ngoma, who is deputies. Mr. Ngoma is also a lawyer. Department. Mr. Teddy Ricardo is another lawyer in the also has a knack for ICT and some of the media work that we carry out. Ms. Precious Simchova, who also sits in our core department, is a social scientist who has been with the Commission for a number of years. She's actually risen through the ranks, a bit like the history we heard from the principal. She actually started in our administration department, and we moved her to our research department. We also have Ms. Cynthia Chanda, who sits in our finance department. She's in charge of stores. She has also changed roles over the years in the commission and is part of the team. We have Mr. Roderick Muliata, who sits in our core department. He's responsible for our library information. We've got Mr. Chipongo Gado. Chipongo is interning with us. He's a law graduate. He's waiting to go to Ziale. As he transitions, he is spending time with us at the commission and getting We also have Ms. Kasonde Chibulwana. Kasonde is a media and public relations graduate. She is responsible with the rest of the team for most of the IEC materials and some of the materials that you received in the past for this particular conference. We've got Ms. Tula Nakasamu, who is in charge of our finances. She's also helping us with the wonderful staff from Dalise with the provision of the meals that have been We have Mr. Ndhlovu, who is also assisting her. He's also in our finance and accounts unit. But we believe in maximum utilization of personnel at the commission minister. So he's here helping us, and he's been helping in the committee sessions as well. Then we have our speaker, minister. I hope she'll allow me to review the secret now to our delegates. Ms. Mutunzi Lupaka, who has been speaker, who has been helping us with the chairs and part of the activities, was a delegate at our inaugural Zapmoon conference in 2025. She also attended our Zapmoon conference at Nyamhande Secondary School last year, 2026. She actually only finished high school last year. Guess what faculty So one of the offshoots of this conference, minister, is it helps us identify young talents and young people that we can integrate and give practical learning experiences or practical learning knowledge. So for those of you that are looking for internships or holiday experience, at the commission our preference now is for those that have participated in our programs. It also gives you an opportunity to see the other options or the various options that you may have in terms of career progression. Thank you, Minister, for allowing me that introduction.